officials are raising concerns over Israeli intelligence after yesterday's deadly attacks by Hamas. Joining us now is Dan Hoffman, a former CIA station chief and Fox News contributor. Dan, thank you very much for coming on with us. What should we know about that, these intelligence failures? What sort of evidence is there that this could have been known, that this was going to happen?
This was a massive, unprecedented attack where you had Hamas terrorists, roughly 1,000 of them reportedly, crossing over that 37-mile border between Gaza and the state of Israel and entering Israel roughly 15 miles into southern Israel. They combined air, land, and sea attacks against Israel. They must have been planning these operations for months, so there were opportunities to collect intelligence from the Israeli border guards, Israeli Defense Forces, the security services, Shin Bet, as well as Mossad, but Israel was unable to do that. Look, intelligence exists to detect threats way out left of boom, so those threats can be detected and preempted before any harm is caused. And that's where, unfortunately, Israel was unsuccessful. They are currently deterring Lebanon and they're deterring Syria from attacks on those second and third fronts, but they failed to deter Hamas, and now they're paying the price for it.
Dan, I know you say there will be a post-war reckoning with what went wrong, but right now it's all hands on deck to prosecute the war. What do you see happening next here?
Well, listen, I think that intelligence is so critical to how Israel chooses to prosecute this war going forward. They most certainly are going to need to mount a ground offensive inside Gaza, and they need intelligence to know where those Hamas fighters are, where the tunnels are, where the hostages are, where the civilians are. That's extraordinarily important. I can tell you from my own experience serving in war zones with the U.S. military, that's the sort of tactical intelligence that determines whether you're successful or not. And so Israel needs to focus on that sort of intelligence. We can help Israel, but not necessarily in the Gaza, but by collecting intelligence on Iran and on Hezbollah, as well as on Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria, so that Israel can focus its efforts on Gaza as they need to.
As you have heard with the statements from this White House and President Biden speaking with Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel has the full support of the United States. What should the U.S. do at this point, Dan?
So I think beyond the intelligence collaboration, which has always been at an incredibly high level, going back to when I served as the director of the CIA's Near East division at CIA, we can help Israel diplomatically. We're doing that already by shoring up support with Arab nations. That, I think, will be important, and also providing Israel with the military equipment that they need to carry on what I expect to be a very long war against Hamas, because keep in mind that Iran will continue to do what they do to keep Hamas in the fight. Iran gives Hamas millions and millions of dollars, as well as technical expertise to build those missiles out that Hamas has used to strike innocent Israeli civilians.
As far as us watching from here, what is happening there, how should this be perceived for all of us here watching at home, Dan?
Well, I think it's an important opportunity for American citizens just to understand that when they go to sleep at night, intelligence professionals are hard at work. And if you never hear about an attack on United States territory, it's not because somebody didn't plan it, it's because we stopped it. And that happens on a very all too regular basis. Our House and Senate Intelligence Oversight Committees track that very carefully, but because of the sensitivity of the sensitive source reporting that we have and the signals intelligence and overhead reconnaissance, it often doesn't make its way to the newspapers. But when we've got an intelligence failure like this one in Israel, it does. And I think it just it emphasizes for all of us here in the United States how fortunate we are to have such a dedicated group of professionals in the U.S. military and the intelligence community working day and night to keep us safe.
You, of course, among them. Dan Hoffman, we appreciate you joining us. Dan, thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.